So, today I'm going to let you listen to some first 10 to 15 signs of chapter 21 of the Quran, which is called the Prophets, or Al-Anbiya in Arabic. And I'm going to explain what's going on right now and what has happened to all generations before you. There's nothing new, and it will happen to the end generation, after which this earth and heaven system will be destroyed. No matter what your thought process is, or not, or your belief system is or not, has no meaning. It's going to be destroyed. And the way the Quran is written, it applies to multiple generations or one single generation. And you just have to figure out where it can be applied to each generation or multiple generations. So this particular segment, which I'm going to let you listen to in Arabic and English, it'll take about 5 odd minutes or so, is applying to every generation. Because most people will tell you who understand the Quran or the Bible, the hour is coming, they talk about the end hour, which will be before the whole earth, heaven is destroyed. But the hour comes to all people and all generations when they're destroyed, and God's forces, the angels, come and massacre all enemies of the God, and the rotation starts again. Most of you don't believe the angels exist, just like most of you don't believe the God exists. And those of you who believe the God exists don't believe the angels exist. So it's like a comedy show going on the earth, with people who believe part of the unseen and then will not believe the other part because it goes against their desires and their fantasies, their delusions, their nonsense, their BS, their absolute self-delusion therein, that they're some sort of high beings and nobody under God is higher than them. I mean, I am higher than most of you on the earth today. That's a guarantee. If not all of you on the earth today, from mankind. I'm not higher than the angels. I'm not higher than the Spirit. We don't come close to God, none of us, including the Spirit, Gabriel. So let me just read these, or let you listen to these signs, yeah?
Al-Anbiya, Chapter 21, The Prophets. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With name of the God, the Almighty, the Merciful. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. Comes closer to the mankind their account, and they in obliviousness turned away. ما يأتيهم من ذكر من ربهم محدث إلا استمعوه وهم يلعبون. Not it comes to them from reminder from their Lord told, except they hear it and they playing. لاهية قلوبهم وأسروا النجوى الذين ظلموا هل هذا إلا بشر مثلكم أفتأتون السحر وأنتم تبصرون. Frivolous their hearts, and they conceal the meetings those who wrong. Is this, except a conscious being, your example, is but bringing you the magic, and you watching. قال ربي يعلم القول في السماء والأرض وهو السميع العليم. He says, My Lord, He knows the sayings in the heaven and the earth, and He the listener, the knowledgeable. بل قالوا أضغاث أحلام بل افتراه بل هو شاعر فليأتنا بآية كما أرسل الأولون. But they say, confused dreams, but invented it, but he a poet, but let him bring us with signs, like what sent the first. ما آمنت قبلهم من قرية أهلكناها أفهم يؤمنون. Not believed before them from cities, we destroyed them. Are but they believing? وما أرسلنا قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. And not we sent before you except men, we inspired to them. But ask keepers of the reminder if you are not you knowing. وما جعلناهم جسدا لا يأكلون الطعام وما كانوا خالدين. And not we made them bodies, not they ate the food, and not they were living perpetually. ثم صدقناهم الوعد فأنجيناهم ومن نشاء وأهلكنا المسرفين. Then we confirmed them the promise, but we saved them and those we wished, and we destroyed the trespassers. لقد أنزلنا إليكم كتابا فيه ذكركم أفلا تعقلون. Already we send down to you a book, in it your reminder. Will but not you understand?
So, I don't know how much of that any of you understood, but I'll try and explain it. So, basically, this is the status of all of you on the earth today. The reminder is in front of you, but you will not listen to it. You will not understand it because you're turned away in obliviousness, or you feign obliviousness. So, the mankind's account is coming closer, and it will at the end as well. It comes at the end of every generation, and it will come at the end of all of this game that is being played, if you want to call it a game, the trial that we're in, the creation that we're in, it will end. And all souls will have been cycled through from mankind, and we'll come up on the other side, and we'll see who's standing. And as the tide goes out, we'll see who are swimming naked. So, and then it's told, it doesn't come to them a reminder told, and they listen to it and they're playing. That's what you're doing. You think I'm joking for 15 years, all of you. And you think others like me are joking who don't know a tenth of what I know. And you think we're all joking about God and His judgment to come upon you. And it will, doubtlessly. And you're frivolous, your hearts, And when you meet in the back of us, this is what you say. This is what you say. I'm not going to read it again. You can go back. And then I'm supposed to say, my Lord, He knows the sayings in the heaven and the earth. And He, the listener, the knowledgeable. And you guys say, oh, confused dreams, you're dreaming about things. But I invented this. But He a poet, I'm a poet. And then let Him bring the signs like what sent the first. So you tell me to bring signs or so-called miracles that brought Jesus and Moses and David and Solomon and all the other messengers and prophets that brought signs. So the answer to you is this, from the Spirit. And it's telling me, obviously, more than you, not believe before them from cities. We destroyed them. But they believing. So I used to struggle with this at the beginning, that how can people not believe? But I was naive. I was extremely naive. So this is particularly to me, to calm me down that you're not going to believe. To make me understand that no matter what I do, how many signs I show you from this book, or if God sends real signs via me, which He's not intending to, that I see, or signs come around you, which are coming and you don't see, you're not going to believe. You can be shown all the signs and you will not believe. This is written. It's going to happen. It's happening in front of you. Those of you who actually believe, you think you believe because you're partnering with God and you'll be made to think you believe. The others are better than you. Those who actually reject, they know they're rejecting everything. They're rejecting God, they're rejecting His angels, the books, the messengers, the hereafter, all of that, and they disobey everything they're told, which is good and righteous. So this is nothing new. It's happened before, it's happening now, it'll happen again from mankind. This only goes to mankind and their absolute destitution of rationality and logic. And those who believe the unseen exists, and then they go out on their stories of what they invent and making equals with God and equals among themselves, they're the worst. Like these Christians and so-called Jews and so-called Muslims who are not Muslim, they're the worst. God hates them more than He hates the rejectors, the Satans, because hypocrisy for God is worse than rejection. You people are hypocrites. And He hates hypocrisy more than anything else. And the hypocrites are going to be in the lowest level of hell. The Satans will be above you, in the hell, of course. It's not going to be a good place for any of you, obviously. But this is what they say. So, and then He tells me, not we sent before you except a man we inspired to them. So all of them were men like me, Jesus, Moses, Aaron, Muhammad, Noah, Hud, Saleh, Isaac, Jacob, Ishmael, Abraham, Shoaib, Lot, all of them were men like me. And then He tells me, ask the keepers of the reminder, if you be not you knowing. Then He tells all of us, go ask them. Ask the people of the keepers, they call it people, keepers of the book. The ones who keep the book and hide it, the Jews, the Christians, and the so-called Muslims who are not Muslims, they hide the book. Look in the book. It's a man that's sent to you, not hundreds of men or thousands. Usually it's one man. And in cases, there's 6 or 8 or 10 of them. Or maybe 15, but not more than that. While you're in the hundreds of millions and billions, and you see us as like these one or two, what are these people? And you'll find out soon enough, what are we people? Because the power behind us, you don't see, and you don't understand that the reality is going to be way against you. And that we're already told that they were not given bodies, that they didn't eat food, and they weren't perpetually living. So we're all going to die. We're already told that. Then we confirmed the promise and we saved those we wished and we destroyed the trespassers. So this is what's going to happen to you now in short order relative to the time that has passed in this generation. It does not matter whether it is 1 year that this is going to take to happen, or it's going to be 10 years, or it's going to be 50 years. The generation's ending. You must understand this for those who have a heart and they want to succeed in their trial that they're in. There is no other way but to turn from your evils and accept what I'm saying. You have to accept it, otherwise you're not going to survive in the hereafter. I mean, you will survive, you will live forever in hell, where death will come all the time and you will not die. And you will be living, but you will not live. It will be constant, complete and total terror. You want terrorism? Just wait for after you die. You'll see what true terrorism is. You think you people can invent terror and fear and make each other fear with your weapons and your bravado and your guns and submarines and missiles and all the other nonsense you create. You haven't seen terror yet. You think the one who invented terror, or fear, you call terror, oh, this is a terrorist, because he's doing something against you. But when you do something against someone else, that's not terrorism. That's justice and righteousness, of course, So just wait for the terror of the real guy, the God who invented fear and terror when it comes to you. Then you'll see what real terror means, And these people who hold the light of wisdom and righteousness, the politicians, Let me just tell you one place where politics, the only place God has mentioned politics in the Quran, One place the word politics is used in the Quran, I'll tell you what God says, So this is what God says about the politicians and the politics the keepers of the book implement. So, and turns back the God those who reject with their fury, not their portion good. And enough the God, the believers, the fight. He is enough fighting for us, and is the God forceful, mighty. And sends down those who back them from keepers of the book from their politics, and sends in their hearts the terror, a group you kill, and you take refugee, a group, and you inherit their earth, and their homes, and their wealth, and earth, not you tread her, and is the God over everything powerful. So when the promise of God comes, this is what's going to happen. You people who are in politics, the politicians, those who rule the earth today, I mean, not really the earth, but the people on the earth, you run around backing the rejectors, which is obvious today, which is completely and totally in clear sight what exactly is going on. And you think that you're going to get away with it. You hold these books. You say that you're followers of these books. And then you back the people who reject this book and these books. And you think you're going to get away with it. When the command comes, you will be hounded. You'll be massacred. You'll be mowed down. And all you will say that day is, surely we were wrongdoers. And that calling will not end till God mows you down into dust. Mark my words. I'm no joker here. You people are the jokers. You people don't understand where this is headed. You can do anything you want to me, or try at least. We'll see what God lets you do. And when God lets you do it, don't think you've won. You have lost worse. Then if you leave me alone and let me say whatever I'm saying, which is the absolute truth, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, we're not sent here to coddle you with sweet words. We're here to tell you the truth and command with the justice and with what God sends down in the Quran. And then the Torah and the Bible, the Injil, as much of what is true there, which coincides with the Quran. So that's what we're sent to do. It does not matter what you think about us. We're told that we're going to be mocked. We're going to be called crazy, inventors, confused, deluded, rejectors, terrorists. You're going to call us whatever name you want. I've done nothing to you except tell you the truth yet. Let me tell you this as well. And no one on earth has any right or authority to stop anyone from saying anything they want, including mocking me or Muhammad or Jesus or God or the Spirit, or the angels, or the truth, or the lies, or anything else. God lets you do that. These people, when they kill people for mocking Muhammad or mocking so-called Islam, this is all nonsense. There is absolutely no directive for us to kill anyone who just mocks God and His messengers. The angels will punish you, and this is written in the book as well. The angels and the Spirit will punish you for mocking God and His messengers. We're not here to do that. God will do that in the end. Don't you worry about that. And if you don't think God exists, well, let's see what happens when you die and you see the reality with your eyes like iron. Yeah, the sight will be iron that day when you die and you see the reality. And as far as leadership is concerned, we're not chosen by God to be chosen by you. We're not sent by God to seek your approval and that you make us messengers by your vote. God does not work with consultation. He decides a command and He implements it. He's the ultimate dictator, as you would call Him, yeah? Your definitions of dictator, authoritarianism, leadership, all this nonsense has been warped into what you want it to be, invented by yourselves. Dictator is bad. Authoritarianism is bad. I mean, which leader does not have authority? So if you say somebody is a leader and he shouldn't be authoritative or shouldn't be an authoritarian leader, what are you talking about? Oh, he shouldn't be authoritative in the way you don't want him to be. Oh, so you decide what a leader is supposed to be and what he's supposed to be authoritative with and what he's not supposed to be authoritative with. I see. Is that how it works? I mean, you people have a death wish upon yourself. Your democracy is an illusion that you have any say in what's going on. Your votes count for naught. The democracy works in one simple way. There's many other complications. I'll give you the simple way it works. And most people who have half a brain cell will figure this out and have figured it out. I'm not the first one. But I'll tell you. They engineer your consent. And they poll you all the time to know how much they can go with their directives and edicts. So one, they engineer your social thought process and your societies so that you think the way they want you to think. And then once they've got enough of that consensus, they will then put the edicts as per the majority wanting to do it. And even sometimes they do it without majority. As long as they have enough, like 20, 30, 40%, they will use engineered polls to make you believe that most of you are actually good with what's going on, when the reality is that most of you are not. But you will listen to this because you've already bought into the nonsense. And you will say, oh, this is what most people want, so it has to be the right thing. What most people want, for most of the time, is wrong. Period. That's how mankind is. Accept that. So if you're in the majority, you're wrong most of the time. Now the real majority, which you do not see, is in the unseen. The forces of God, the Spirit and the angels, and all the others that are in the unseen. After them, they have the real power. And you're warned that soon you will see who is shorter count and weaker force. So understand that this concept of what is right and wrong in your ideology is completely wrong. If you pay attention to what these words, these first 10 odd signs that I made you listen, contemplate on what's been going on. And how can all of you be right and one guy has to be wrong if he's against you? The opposite of that is always true when God sends His messenger, like me, or a prophet, like all the prophets before me, Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and all the other prophets and messengers. So when He sends us, you don't have a choice. You have to listen and obey, or your end will be the fire, destitution, devastation, catastrophe, chaos, And you think these people on the earth are doing this, all the evil that is going on the earth, your shortages, your so-called inflation, which is also a hoax. There's no shortage on the earth. There's no shortage on the earth. It's being created. Yeah? You think it's being created by these people. It's not happening because God doesn't want it to happen. And it's only going to continue to get worse if your nonsense and your belief system continues. Unless you change that and change your souls, nothing is going to change as to what is to come. Only those like me who changed their souls or have changed their souls and rejected the satanic, nonsensical leaders on the earth, your Trudeaus, your Bidens, your Macrons, your Borises, your Olaf, your Modis, and all the other leaders. Most of them are Satans or satanic. The one leader they vilify the most, Vladimir Putin, I see him as the most upfront leader. I don't care whether he's good or evil or what he's doing is right and wrong. I'm talking about as a character. The guy is upfront. I've been listening to all of them for the last 15, 20, 30 years, and most of them lie to you through their teeth, and they're proven to lie. And they've walked back their lies with total nonsense and deception. They walk back their lies. And they cover their lies with nonsense, complete, total gibberish and garbage they utter to cover the nonsense lies they have said before. All of them, hypocrites. Absolute. This guy, Putin, at least he says and he does what he does. I haven't seen him say things and then he goes back on what he's saying. Sometimes all of us do, but I'm talking about generally, he doesn't. So, the one they call the worst is the best of the worst. That's what it is, yeah? And the rest are way worse than him. And they are such wretched animals. And they will be treated like that by God when the command comes. So just keep waiting. It's coming. There's no doubt in that. There's going to be no dispute in that when it comes. You will be disputing when the command of God hits you, and then you will be lost. There'll be no ability to do anything after that. You won't be given any quarter by God and His forces. Remember that. So, do what you want. This generation's end is in motion.